started. This is the Red Ticket Blues podcast. I am Brian Buckley. This is being recorded on May 2nd. They hit the internet on May 3rd. How's everybody doing? Let's start with the obvious. Well, let's. You can always listen to the show on all the podcasting venues: Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, and TuneIn Radio. And follow me on Twitter at BrianBuck13 and at Red Ticket Blues. How could I forget that shit? Anyways, let's start with the obvious, something that we always talk about on the show, and that's English Premier League soccer, right? So Leicester City. No, we all know I don't talk about soccer here. I respect soccer. I respect the soccer people. I get it. It's tough in this country. You know, anywhere else in the world, you'd fit with the rest of the common man there. But here it's different. But putting it into perspective, Leicester City won the English Premier League soccer. And, I mean, for some of you that are not familiar with this, and I would imagine that's probably a decent amount of people, they were 5,000 to 1 odds to win the English Premier League title. Let's put that in perspective. Buster Douglas was, I think, 42 to 1 to beat Mike Tyson way back in, 1991, 92. The Cleveland Browns are 200 to 1 odds to win the Super Bowl. The USA hockey team was 1,000 to 1 odds to win the gold in 1980. 5,000 to 1 odds. I've never heard of anyone even taking a bet higher than that other than Kevin Malone when he thought John Cougar Mellencamp would win an Oscar. And that hasn't come through. And that's not real. That's a show. The Office. Which I actually started watching the English version this weekend, which Ricky Gervais is great. Very uncomfortable. He's even more uncomfortable than Steve Carell's, Michael Scott. But 5,000 to 1. You know what? You have just as good a chance of getting that bet as Mike Francesa admitting he was wrong.
You're wrong.
Oh, yeah, I'm really wrong.
It's very difficult. So, congratulations to them, and congratulations to soccer. Soccer, if you're listening, big fan of the show, right? Yeah, well, remember to subscribe, leave a 5-star rating. No, but we have other things. We have bigger fish to fry, because we're in America, all right? We have baseball, the locals, trending in two entirely different directions. The New York Yankees I don't want to say they're awful because I don't think we're even close to seeing how awful they actually are. We're not there yet, so just slow down. We're going to get there. It's a long season. Oh, it's a long season, yes. So I also wanted to touch a little bit on the NFL draft. Not a huge NFL draft guy, but I did watch it. You got to watch parts of the draft, or at least be involved with all the drama that went on. And, well, yeah, what else we got to touch on the NBA a little bit? There's more transpirings in ESPN and talent leaving and more drama involved. So we'll get into that and maybe a few surprises along the way, but enough of the bullshit. So let's start. The New York Yankees are an abysmal baseball team, and it's getting difficult to watch. Last night, the New York Yankees, they were swept mercifully by the Boston Red Sox. The Yankee offense actually woke up, so to speak. They scored, 7 runs? I forgot about that 7. I was going to say 6 runs, but they scored 7 runs on Sunday night. And you almost thought for a second they were going to win the game. But unfortunately, what's happened is we've gotten so spoiled. I just did it. Fuck! Listen, it was like 100. Well, you know what? I didn't say we because I meant it from the fans. It was over 100 podcasts, and I've never used the term we. I mean we the fans. So that streak continues, right? Right? But I think the fans have become so accustomed to a perfect bullpen. So when the offense actually does, hit, the bullpen can't keep it under control. And Dylan Betances gave up 2 home runs this weekend to Boston Red Sox hitting. And the offense outside of Sunday night's game A-Rod not woke up, but he played well this week. I mean, he provided the power. And what is with it? Listen, I know Alex does when it's raining out, the players have to, get the water off the bat. This is the second time Alex has to put the bat between his legs and rub it in. We've all seen the GIF, whatever you want to say, or Vine, or video. You understand. Why does he? At first, I was like, all right, this guy's got to clean the bat, Brian. You never played since Little League, so keep your stupid opinion to yourself. Any hot takes regarding bat drying? But he's the only one I saw do it like that. That's just A-Rod being A-Rod. Guys, what are you talking about? No, but I mean, he's been the one producing all the power for this team. So we have Mr. Headley, who is the poster boy of this anemic offense, it is May 2nd. No extra base hits. Mike Francesa the other day, on Friday, said, got to give him 80 games. Mike tightened that leash really hard on this afternoon show and said, he has 3 days. Imagine being having like some project at work, and they're like, yeah, you got about 80 days to do this. Oh, good. Oh, by the way, you have 3. Because, Mike's the manager, so you get it. He had Cashman on today, and, it was, and Cashman was a little ticked off, which he should be. I understand they're in a transition year because there were no free agent signings this offseason, but there is no real transition years when you play in New York City, unless you're the Knicks, and that goes on for decades. But what he was unhappy. Aaron Hicks stinks. Severino hasn't been playing well. Evaldi, I mean, he gave up runs last night. I don't want to say he was terrible. He wasn't good. Pineda wasn't awful. I mean, the pitching wasn't awful this week, but now they're going to go into after this. So they're swept. They have, last time I checked, this was on Saturday, they had the lowest amount of run totals in the entire Major League Baseball. Their third base position was the only position on any MLB team that did not produce an extra base hit. Thank you very much, Chase Headley. And what was the other stat? I forget. Oh, it's something. It is their worst start right now since 1991. Now, for some of you younger listeners, you guys have only known the good stuff. I came up sort of in between. I grew up knowing the Yankees were shitty. They were terrible. They were a team that, they were always bad. They a traveling band of, guys that they'd substitute for whoever. A new guy here. Who's this guy with a funny name? Whatever. I mean, I could name all the names if you really want them. Melito Perez, Mike Pacurillo, Matt Noakes, Rafael Santana, Lee Guterman, Roberto Kelly, all those guys. And then around my teenage years, they started really putting it together. So some of you young guys may not know. So this 8-15 record that they sport right now, 5 losses in a row, 3-7 in their last 10. This is going to be interesting. Put it that way. It's going to be interesting because they play Baltimore next, another opponent, division rival, and then they play the Red Sox again. This could be over. I'm making this prediction. Yes, in early May, this could be over. Next time this week. Let's say they lose every game, which really, would you be shocked? The team has they have no life either. No, just, oh, yeah. And again, you hear of Girardi, he hit the ball hard, he hit it right, and they're just not catching the breaks, I mean, and outside of that one pitch, I mean, you take away those 3 home runs, so-and-so pitched well. I mean, he's hitting it right at the guy and whining about shifts now. Jesus, Joe, shut up, man. Really? Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. And try to do something to combat the shift. Huh? How about that, huh? Get your players to bunt. Now, of course, you're not going to get A-Rod to bunt. You're not going to get Teixeira to bunt. Even though he said 3 years ago, still waiting on that one, that there would be bunting. But he wants to ban the shift, Joe Girardi, because everyone shifts against the Yankees. And, it beats the Yankees, and the Yankees shift against other people, and they beat the shift. So, obviously, Joe is quite upset with the shift. But I'm saying it. The Yankees got to start winning some games. And let's see. So they got 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Right? Do they have Thursday off? I don't know. They have Baltimore coming up. No, they don't have Thursday off. They're going to play. Ooh, they don't have another day off till May 23rd. So they are going to be playing Boston. Playing Baltimore away, Boston at home, Kansas City at home, the White Sox at home. Oh, man. Ooh. This could get ugly. This could be over. Like I said this could be over next week. This could definitely, maybe you heard me say, oh, Brian, just calm down. It's not going to be over next week. No, this could be over. I didn't realize they were playing Kansas City and the White Sox. I should have with all the stupid advertisements for the White Sox game. I should know that. But that is what the New York Yankees are facing, and it's going to be, I bet you, their regret. Now, there's 2 different sides of it. You can look at it from the side of view where, boy, Comcast, they are laughing it up, they are yucking it up. Keep playing those anti-Comcast commercials. Yeah, go for it. See how that goes. Yeah, because none of our subscribers see it, but yeah, keep playing them. Yeah, just keep the good time rolling, right? And I bet the Yankees are really going to regret that StubHub ban. Because you know what? The only people going to games are going to be games that's, you want to go to games night? Yeah, they suck. So let's see if we can get some cheap seats. Now, no one's going to be going to the game. No one's going to watch this team if they're not eliminated, but out of contention this early. You're going to see a mausoleum. Mausoleum? I don't know if that really fits. I know what a mausoleum is. I don't know if that actually... You're going to see... Yeah, fuck it. You're going to see a mausoleum there in the summer. Bank on it. And you do not bank on Chase. Fuck that. So we'll move on to the other side of town, the Mets, real quick. Now, they're doing everything right. Everything right. And outside of Syndergaard having a little hiccup the other day. But, I mean, they are game and a half outside of first place behind the blazing Washington Nationals. So, and there's one man that's really ripping it up there. And every time he hits a home run, it's almost like a fuck you to me. Me and the Red Ticket Blues podcast, and that's Yoenis Cespedes. I mean, he's making me look like some of those CIA-sponsored commandos in the Bay of Pigs looking like fools. That was a little too Dennis Miller-ish, wasn't it? Throw history into it. I mean, why did I make that statement? It's almost like Hannibal taking the elephants across the Alps. Why would you do such a peculiar thing? Bring pachyderms like... All right. The Mets just keep on rolling. Now, outside of David Wright looking a bit ancient and mummified sometimes, you can be happier as a Mets fan. And I envy them because they're taking care of business. I just looked now. They're up 4-0 with Cologne on the mound. So good for them. Good for the Mets. And that's what makes it even more difficult as a Yankee fan, watching this demise, this just shit product that it's not even a shit product. Well, it kind of is. With the Mets at the same time. So far, again, it's May 2nd. It makes it that much more difficult. So, I'm talking all subdued, like someone died here. Anyways, so the NFL draft concluded on the weekend here, and one of the obvious highlights, I'm going back to some older information here, and that, of course, is everything that happened with Laremy Tunsil. And John Gruden, of all people, well, I shouldn't say of all people, but he was, I mean, if you haven't seen what happened to Tunsil, an hour before the draft, there's a picture of him with a gas mask bong, it's got that gas face, and he is smoking. And this is obviously, he said it was from a few years ago, but someone hacked his Twitter, put his information on there, put the video on, and, all of a sudden he starts to drop and he starts to lose money. And I don't know why I just clicked off, but John Gruden then bashed social media. Okay, he bashed Tunsil. I don't like it. I don't like this. Okay, I got it back up here. Let's get the direct quotes from John Gruden. The whole thing makes me sick. This whole social media scene makes me sick. If you're a young kid out there, put away your Twitter accounts. Put them away. Just open up the drawer. There we go. Put it in there. There we go. Put it away. And all right, if you want to be a pro football player, somebody's going to hack your account. Talk about a guy who lives in, I'll tell you a personal story of mine. I noticed one day I looked at my checking account. This must have been about 10 years ago. And this was 10 years ago. At least this guy had an excuse. It was 10 years ago. But I looked at my checking account and I noticed there's a $900 withdrawal that I didn't make a $900 withdrawal. I normally don't withdraw $900. Usually because I can't spare $900. But anyways, so I said, screw the bank. I'm calling the cops. What the hell's going on here? Someone's taking money out of my account. So I went to the police station in the town that I lived in at the time, a small town, and two cops sitting there, one with his dog. And I said, yeah, so the $900 is missing. And the guy said, all right, so it's missing. How do you know this? I said, I looked up online on my account. And the guy goes, you'll see all sorts of crazy things online. I said, it's my fucking bank account. I think that's a little different from a spam letter, from an uncle that I supposedly had in Kenya that died in a plane crash and wants to give me $10,000. I just got to send $100. Well, actually, it's probably more than that. But you get the point. John Gruden, give the kid a break. We'll say this. I grew up in the baby stages of the internet. And if we were partying, having fun, there was no way anyone was ever taking a picture of me. So the idea that this guy is somebody, and I'm nobody. Oh, thank you. That's nice of you. But come on, let's be honest. I'm nobody. And the idea that he allowed someone to videotape him is mind-boggling. Don't you think that could end up in the wrong hands? Looked like fun, though. The Jets, they took a quarterback out of Penn State, which raised a lot of eyebrows, seeing I guess he didn't really have great reviews, and that puts the Ryan Fitzpatrick saga into another tier. So they just need to both, drop the egos and just meet. I mean, it was a good, feel-good story last year, the Jets, and he obviously gelled with his teammates. So I don't know what the holdup is, but both of you guys check your ego at the side and just, I don't say check your ego. It's about money, Brian, but I get that. But let's make this happen, bro. What do I have to do to make you the quarterback of the Jets? Oh, okay. And the Giants, their big acquisition was Eli Apple, which I'll tell you, it doesn't get any more New York Giants than that, huh? Feel free to use that one. And Eli Apple, he seems like I say decent guy. Like I had drinks with him last night, but his mother is the big thing. A vocal family member. I never like vocal family members, man. Yeah, go talk to Gabrielle Union about her bitching and moaning about foul calls. I mean, for Dwayne Wade, who, boy, did he take over the other night, man. It's like he got mad. Him and Gabrielle. Yeah, all these professional athletes are listening to your podcast and doing it out of spite for you, Brian. No, but he took over in that Hornets game, that game 6. And he looked like the old Dwayne Wade. You knew the Hornets were done. There was no way they were winning a Game 7. Of course, they were blown up by like 30. But Wade was Wade. What can you say? I'm surprised he even entertained the little fight with that purple bandana guy on the sidelines. Dwayne Wade, you're better than getting in arguments with purple bandana guys in Charlotte. I thought you were. But his mom is very vocal, that Eli Apple. And I'm not going to say she'll be a problem. She could be very interesting. But when things aren't going well, that's what we call a distraction. When things are going great, it's funny, it's hysterical, we love it. But when things aren't going well, that is a distraction. So we'll have to see what goes on there. Another thing, she wrote something about how the problem for Victor Cruz is his fiance on her little, I guess it's a blog of her own personal blog. That doesn't seem to be getting any traction anywhere. And I've tweeted it, and it hasn't gone viral yet, so then there's no hope for it. Ezekiel Elliott was the big pick for the Cowboys, which we were told no running backs would be drafted that high by certain pundits, but they were wrong. So good for him. And ESPN did that entire draft. Now, ESPN also making news from the point of view that Kurt Schilling, now you can look at this any way you want. I'm going to go with the Red Sox fan mentality here. Kurt Schilling was just removed from his post at ESPN, and there's a 30 for 30 last night before the baseball game, and that was the 4 days in October about the Boston Red Sox comeback in 2004, and Kurt Schilling's entire performance was not there. Now, there was lots of large, memorable moments from that 2004 ALCS with the Yankees, but I have to think Kurt Schilling's bloody, whatever, maybe it's bloody, maybe it's ketchup, maybe it's something, bloody sock was a very big storyline. And to just edit that, and then, basically what ESPN said is, well, we have time constraints, and I get that. I understand that. Deadspin, for whatever, was very, I don't want to say anti-Red Sox fan, but they thought it was they laughed at the Red Sox idea that it was some sort of conspiracy against Kurt Schilling. You know what? It wouldn't shock me. I mean, the way that they left, and Kurt hasn't even said all these things yet, I guess, from this interview that he did with someone that's serious. But it should be good. Again, I don't know if it was. Deadspin saying, why are people watching 6-year-old documentaries at that hour anyways? Well, maybe because they want to. But you don't listen, Deadspin, with your cursed, with your cool headlines with unnecessary curse words in it to get clickbait, to get clicks. I can watch documentaries whenever the hell I feel like it. This is America, all right? And ESPN also, they're losing more talent. So it looks like looks like Robert Smith. Is that his name? Yes, I know the guy, the football guy. He's actually pretty good. He's also good, too, because they have him usually in a studio with one other person, and you can actually understand what he's saying. He makes good points. I guess Trent Dilfer will also be leaving, but what will you miss? The only thing you'll miss are quotes like this.
You cannot lose games in the NFL and still win.
But it sounds like, I'm not sure where Dilfer said he was going. Was he going to CBS? Someone else, or Brad Nessler was leaving ESPN and going to CBS. Robert Smith, am I saying his name? It is Robert Smith, is going to the Fox Sports and the Big Ten Network. Trent Dilfer, I don't know where he's going. But look, it's more talent leaving ESPN. What's going on there in Bristol? Now, this could just be a new image revamp. I know some people want to say the sky is falling. Let's put ESPN in the grave. They still dominate the ratings. You can't stay the same all the time. So maybe they're just doing some house cleaning. But in another way, their methods have worked, which Fox Sports is trying, which we've all been waiting for this. An end to my sleepless fucking nights. A PTI-style version Fox Sports with Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock. I mean, wow. I actually used to like Colin Cowherd. Well, I used to listen to him. We'll put it that way. He was okay. There were times I don't want to say there were days I liked listening to him. Then days I said, I can't do it. When he was on ESPN, I have not listened to him once since he's gone to Fox Sports. He doesn't seem like a great debate guy. I guess it's going to be PTI. I mean, I guess PTI with Michael Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser is a debate show, so to speak. But the debates are very small. It's more of a rundown of sports, but I guess this is supposed to be a PTI debate style. It's supposed to be called, this is the loose name right now, Speak for Yourself. Ooh. Speak for yourself. Damn it. Whitlock, those are two guys. I'll be honest. Two guys. And Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock, it depends on what day of the week I find their take interesting. And Whitlock even less so nowadays, with him just jettisoning back and forth, becoming a bit into himself way more than he had in the past. He's intriguing, Whitlock, but I don't see a lot of hope for that show. I mean, I know the trendy thing right now is to pounce on it and just say, boy, this is going to be a heaping load of shit, but give it a chance. Maybe it'll be interesting. Maybe not. Maybe not. So the NBA, as I mentioned before, with that Wade, great game on Saturday night. They advanced. Now, right now, the Atlanta Hawks and Cleveland Cavaliers are playing, and it was announced today that LeBron James of the Cleveland Cavaliers, you know what team he plays for, will be starring in Space Jam 2. Another thing that we've just been waiting. Every morning I wake up, are they going to make Space Jam 2 yet? Finally, I hear LeBron James is in it, and I don't know why he would do something so stupid with so many comparisons to Michael Jordan. And this is a rumor. I don't think this is actually confirmed. It's reported that he is going to appear in Space Jam 2. I mean, if you have a chance to be involved in a reboot of fighting monsters by playing basketball, cartoon monsters, you take that. You take that opportunity. Now, what probably happened is they said, listen, LeBron, we offered this role to Steph Curry, and he declined. And LeBron, before even hearing anything else, signed it and said, fuck that, I'll do it. And then they said, it's for Space Jam 2. And he said, oh, shit. That's probably what happened. That's what I'm guessing happened. What was the other thing? Oh, speaking of movies, I guess we'll stay in that. Going outside the sports world, Ghostbusters 3, which looks like just I don't want to see it. That's where I'm going to stay with that. And apparently a lot of other people don't either. The trailer for Ghostbusters 3, let's see, the trailer has been viewed a whopping 28 million times. Now, if you're not familiar with this movie, this is supposed to be the daughters of all the original Ghostbusters. Now they're busting ghosts because busting makes them feel good. So keep the family tradition going, right? More than 28 million times. Of those, more than 200,000 people gave it a thumbs up. Oh, that's pretty good. But more importantly, more than 527,000 people disliked the trailer. That's a thumbs down, I believe. Let's see. Oh, quirky YouTube comments. These are good. All right. So Who are you going to call? Hopefully a new director next time. Oh, Jesus, that was good. If I could only dislike this more than once, and went so far to ask Sony Pictures to cancel the movie. Please don't show it. It will do more damage than good. No one is going to watch it. I certainly am not going to watch it, and I have an unlimited cinema card. Oh, look at you, la-di-da, fucking Mr. Pissy Pants. It's not worth my time, and you have just tried to make a quick buck, and it is going to end up losing loads of money and damage your reputation. Well, I'm sure that Sony Pictures heard that YouTube comment and are now halting any release of the movie. Good job, whatever. It just wasn't even a username. But hey, don't fuck with him. He's got an unlimited cinema card, whatever that is. I'm also not looking forward to it. Even the second one, while I loved it, it still was a stretch. Well, they are busting ghosts, so it's not... there's a bit of science fiction to it. But even Yoenis, I mean... Did he think he had a chance with Dana Barrett? I mean, get the fuck out of here. And I don't care how much, he was oozing with confidence. Get it? The oozing. Even if he had Vigo the Carpathian inside of him, it doesn't matter. Not literally perverts. But that's where I'm going with that. So I think that's about it. I think I'm going to try to do another, we'll have the Thursday talk, obviously. And we'll... see, I'll try to maybe I'll try to do another podcast at the end of the week. I'm not sure if I'll do that. No promises, damn it. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to mention. We got to mention politics. Not really much going on since the big transpirings last Tuesday. And that was mostly for Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Now, Ted Cruz has said, screw it. I'm announcing Carly Fiorina, and she fell down announcing him today. That's not a good omen. And another good omen is that when you are, now this whole idea has started throughout the internet. Well, it's not an idea. Anyone who really believes it has some issues because just chronologically it doesn't match up. Ted Cruz, that he is the Zodiac Killer. Yes, the serial killer that was never brought to justice and murdered, I don't want to say dozens, but probably close to dozens in the San Francisco area in the 60s and 70s. Now, most of the murders happened, or many of the murders happened before Ted Cruz was born. So while we'd like to pin it on him, can't. Sorry. But they actually, then here we are. Now, listen, he's hanging by a thread. I get it. John Kasich got more delegates, and he eats like a disgusting animal.
Never seen a human being eat in such a disgusting fashion.
Thank you, Donald. Exactly. Thank you for backing me up. I need more backup on this show, damn it. So he got less delegates than John Kasich. So here we are, May 2nd. We are getting closer to a presidential election, and Ted Cruz's wife is actually asked about the reports that he made. The reports. Is report the right word? The loosely associated internet speak that he could possibly be the Zodiac Killer. And she said, he's had to deal with a lot of garbage, so this is just ridiculous. Something like, I'm paraphrasing. But she did say something that he's had to deal with a lot of garbage. You know what she didn't say? He is not the Zodiac Killer. Did you notice that? I'm not convinced that a man could not go before he was born, murder people. All right. Okay. You get the picture. So I think that's all we got tonight. The NBA playoffs move into round 2. Warriors dominating even without Curry. I mean, are they that good? And the Spurs dominating the Thunder. I think Kevin, if Thunder got to at least show some heart in this series, or I think Kevin Durant is gone and he's going to make a great Boston Celtic. I think that's all I got today. So remember, I want to thank, before I do, I want to thank everyone for listening. All the people that listen every week. I really do appreciate it. If it's not for the fans, and if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be possible, all that stuff. Great job as always. No, I really do appreciate everyone for always listening. And it's duly noted. I see all the downloads and I couldn't be happier. So I appreciate it. That's me remembering you. So that's for you. Remember, you can always listen to the show on all these different podcasting forums, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, TuneIn Radio, and I understand with Google Play. If you have an Apple phone, which you should be using the podcast app. So they are not giving podcasts on iOS, the Apple operating system, through the Google Play app. But if you have an Android, you can use Google Play to find this. Okay, so I'm just trying to help you out. I mean, I'm not some huge techie here, but these are the morsels I've been given, slowly but surely. So I've also heard there's Wi-Fi now too, so I'm going to learn all about that. So iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, YouTube, and what am I doing here? Stop touching things. Yeah, follow me on Twitter at BrianBuck13 and at Red Ticket Blues. Remember to leave a review. You should have already done that, but if you haven't, if you have an iPhone, there's no excuse that you have not left a review in the podcast app. There's absolutely no excuse. And I'll just sit here and wait. Go ahead and do it. Actually, I'm not waiting. So do that. Leave a 5-star rating. Subscribe so you never miss an episode. And with all that being said, I'm out of here.